Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Unorthodox Vegan. My name is Sean Gold, and this week we're going to be making Szechuan vegetables. That's what we'll be doing. This is another recipe from the 15-day plant-rich diet challenge. I just want to make sure that you had an opportunity to try this one out. I'm doing it for the first time today, so we'll see how it goes. But some of the ingredients are, let's see, we need some vegetables. So I have a mix of broccoli and cauliflower. The recipe called for cauliflower, florets, and snow peas, as well as carrots and bell peppers and mushrooms. But I decided to go with cauliflower and broccoli because I had broccoli in the house and I had cauliflower in the house. I said, well, why not do that? And I also had the carrots and some bell peppers. So we're doing that. We have some onions, tofu, and we have a tomato. We have some, it says rice wine. I don't have any rice wine. I'm going to use a dry white wine. Soy sauce, some chili sauce, oil. Got a soup stock here with about 1 cup of soup stock with 3 tablespoons of starch, of cornstarch. And so that's going to be used to thicken everything up. And I'm going to have a tablespoon of sugar and some cloves, some crushed cloves. I took 3 cloves, and it says pound them. A little weird, but anyway, I crushed them up. And so I have that, and I have an onion, and I have some water boiling, and I'll be putting the vegetables in there and letting them boil for 1 to 2 minutes just to soften up. That'll include the mushrooms, the carrots, the bell peppers, and the cauliflower and the broccoli. And in the meantime, I'm also going to be dicing up this tomato and then pureeing it using an immersion blender, make it into a liquid, which I'll be adding in later. So I'm going to get ready. I'm going to start cooking some stuff up. As I said, I already fried up some tofu, so it's got a nice texture to it, and it'll be added into the overall stir fry or the overall Szechuan vegetable mix. Back in a few minutes. As you can see, I got the water boiling, and I've also pureed the tomatoes. I won't be using those right away, but I have pureed them, so they'll be used for later. I'm now going to be throwing in the vegetables, which is the cauliflower and broccoli florets, as well as mushrooms and carrots, and a few more mushrooms, and a few more carrots, and also some bell peppers, which is 1 bell pepper, essentially. It's a cup of, about 4 cups of vegetables. As I said, in general, it wanted snow peas, or suggested snow peas, and I think that would have been nice. I just didn't have any in the house, and I had lots of other vegetables, and I have broccoli, and I like broccoli. So I'm just going to let this, so I've got the mushrooms, the carrots, the bell pepper, the cauliflower, and the broccoli in there. I'm just going to let that boil for 2 minutes and just let that do that thing. I won't keep you on here. And meanwhile, as I said, I've got everything else ready. So when I'll be back, we'll start to do some serious cooking. Back in a bit. I boiled those vegetables as I showed you. So I've taken them out of the pot. They're already just sitting here a little steaming. I've also heated up some oil, a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil, and am now doing a light frying of the onions. These are roughly diced onions. That will go in with, obviously goes into the stir fry. Gives it a little more texture having them that way. That's only going to be fried for about 1 minute. And let's see, what do we got next? And add the garlic and the cloves and chili. Okay, so that's going to be that's the good stuff. Let's get the garlic, and this is 3 cloves of garlic. Just going to add that in there, and that pounded cloves, which is 3 cloves that I've kind of smashed up in there. Just going to mix that around. Let that go for about a minute. I'm going to add in also some chili sauce. And I can't remember how much that is. Paste, 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of chili paste. And this is where did I get this from? This is a roasted chili sambal. Oh, I can't get roasted chili sambal. And I got this, I don't know, a friend of mine who is from the Philippines. I think that's where it was from. I'm going to get that. Well, that should be about a tablespoon. And I'll mix that in there and let that all Let that all just saute for a minute or two, and be back in a moment. Okay, next up we're going to add that tomato puree that I did, that one tomato that I diced up and then pureed it using the blender. And to this I'll also be adding in some soy sauce. And that'll be, now they said 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, or 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, 1 of light, and I don't have the light, so I'm just going to go with 2 tablespoons of the dark. Just go with that. And I'm going to be putting in 1 tablespoon of the white wine. It said rice wine, but I don't have that, so put that in there. And let's see what else goes in there. Tomato paste, soy sauce, rice wine, sugar. Get the sugar in there. Get that in there. And that was a tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Must have been slightly damp in that container, so let's get that mixing around in there. And I'll be adding in now the stock with the cornstarch in it to thicken it up. Just make sure I get that mixed up so it will not be a lump in there. Okay, there we go. And that's going in there now. So I'll let that mix in there for a bit. And I think I'm just going to let that thicken up a little bit first, and then I will be adding in the vegetables. So I'll let that thicken up. Be back in a few minutes. Well, as you can see, that sauce has thickened up nicely. I'm now going to add in the vegetables that we boiled earlier. Get those in there. And I'll be adding in the tofu. That gives you some extra protein. That's all good stuff. Let's get those in there. And this, I'm just going to stir this around, mix it around, and turn down the heat. Because this is going to be ready to serve and plate once I get it all mixed in around here. Now when I do that, we'll come back and do a taste test. Back in a bit. As you can see, I plated it. I am going to do a taste test. I added a little bit of toasted sesame seeds just to give it a little bit of, just to improve how it looks. I like the look of toasted sesame seeds. Anyway, let's give it a try, see how this goes. Not bad. Vegetables have the perfect crunchiness. The sauce is not bad at all. A little bit of heat. Yeah, I can feel the heat in that. It's a little bit of that chili sauce gives it a little bit of heat. Not too sweet. A little bit of sweetness to it. Overall, this is a good meal. Very tasty. Might have put more garlic in. That's what I'd probably do next. A little bit more garlic. I like the taste of garlic. All right, that's it. That's this week's episode of the Unorthodox Vegan. Again, my name is Sean Gold. If you'd like more information, you can always email me at my email address, which is going to be up here. That's vrcompanions@gmail.com. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel. Sorry. That's www.youtube.com/@_the_unorthodox_vegan. And also, if you're interested in following more information about that plant-rich diet challenge, I'll post a link on that, and that's essentially sreg.org, esrag.org. SREG stands for Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, and that's where I got this recipe from. You too can go and look it up, get that information. This was the Szechuan vegetables. Very tasty. Take care. Have yourself a great day. Bye for now.